Okay, so as you can see, we're in chapter 26 and 27 of Proverbs this week. We're not going chronologically, if that's become abundantly obvious right now. So we've gone chapter 9 last week, and then now 26 and 27. That is mostly because, and there is an explanation. Proverbs is not a book like the Gospels. It doesn't go sort of, this is when Jesus was born, the events of his life, and his death and resurrection. It doesn't sort of easily add up like that. It's bits and pieces and more topical, so you can sort of jump around and find the same sort of things in lots of different chapters, and then put them all together, and you've got a topic. So that's one of the reasons why we're jumping around so much. But we will be going back to earlier chapters when Dan and you can speak over the next couple of weeks. So Proverbs. I'm going to give you a little bit of an intro because last term I did the first talk and I like doing intros. So I did this term. So anyway, term 3, SPAT. We're doing Proverbs. Why are we doing Proverbs? Why bother? Because it's interesting. Yep, one of the things. Because it's got stuff that is really that nails us where we are at our age. As teenagers and as young adults, we sort of go, oh wait, this is the sort of thing we need to be thinking about. The difference between being wise and what is foolishness and all those sorts of things and how they get put together. When I was at school in year 11, when I was a leader, that was the first term that I was leading anything. I wasn't leading youth group at church yet, but they took me on as a leader at ICF. It was probably way too early for me, but I remember we did Proverbs in the first term of that, and that was really, really hard because they gave me a talk in the third week. So I had no idea what it was even talking about, how to approach it or anything. But anyway, after my talk, I said, does anyone have any questions? Because that's what everybody else, what our ICF leader did, and I was like, oh, okay, he seems cool, so I'll just do that. I'll ask questions. Bad move. Okay, instead of questions, I got statements like, why from the Year 12 guys? I was in year 11, but the Year 12 guys were asking me questions, so it was a bad day. One of the remarks was, Proverbs is just a book of complete philosophical drivel. Okay. Thanks for that. Moving right along. Another one I got was a bunch of stupid sentences that added together make people feel more foolish than before they started reading it. Which in a way I sort of was like, yeah, it kind of does. But yeah, I mean, if you're new to it, it's hard to read, and for a lot of people it was like, especially at ICF, it just went straight over their heads. They have no idea. Guys actually said those things, they really did. But what is Proverbs to us? What is Proverbs to the leaders? What is Proverbs to Christians? Proverbs is the Word of God. It's the Bible. If this book says something is foolish, which it does a lot, especially in these couple of chapters, then you can place a fairly large bet that it probably is foolish or stupid. And vice versa. If it says something is wise, then it probably is wise. Okay, Dan and you have been talking about different ideas and topics that have been coming up. But the title of my talk is called Foolish Behaviour, and from what Nick read, you can probably understand why. It takes, every verse is almost like one thing is just so stupidly foolish, and it doesn't even need to say it, but the wise thing to do is just straighten your mind. It just comes straight into your mind because you just know how idiotic that would be to do. I'm going to give you a couple of examples. So, chapter 25, 26 and 27 are the 3 chapters that I sort of picked stuff out of, but I got Nick to read 26 because it sort of gave you an idea of where I was coming from. Verse 14 of chapter 25. Like clouds and wind without rain is a man who boasts of gifts that he does not give. So you're sitting there going, why are clouds there? Because when clouds gather, you know it's probably going to rain. Okay, so to have clouds and no rain, well, it's kind of dumb. Then you have a man who boasts about having gifts that he never gives. So what's the point? Firstly, what's the point of having gifts if you're not going to give them, or give them to people? And secondly, why would you be puffing yourself up and saying, I've got all these intentions to give you guys stuff, but then never come through. It's just a big puff-up exercise, and it's just ridiculous. More examples. Verse 16 of, chapter 25, right now. If you find honey, just eat enough. Too much, and you will vomit. That's really, I mean, how obvious is that? It is so obvious. If you find something, a food or something like that, and you eat too much of it, chances are you're going to get really sick. Like that was the case on Wednesday night. On Wednesday night we had lasagna for Bible study. It was fantastic. I loved it. Yeah. We had huge slice, like I'm talking like that big, on the middle of my plate. No, I had that. Plus I had another bit which was like that. Like that. Anyway, I got home and I felt absolutely awful. I went to bed feeling so sick, afraid that I was going to wake up in the middle of the night and have to run to the bathroom. It was really bad. It's exactly the same here. It's just so stupid to eat something and you know, because you know in your head, if you eat too much of something, you're probably going to get sick. It's just how it is. It's just pretty stupid, and the wise behaviour would be to just eat enough and then stop. Okay? You guys, at this point, you're probably getting the picture of like where I'm going with all this, but here's one more example before I get to some other stuff. Like one who seizes a dog by the ears is a passerby who meddles in a quarrel that is not his own. Okay, no matter what type of dog it is, you never grab a dog by the ears, because chances are you're going to get bitten and you're going to get really hurt. Okay, it's whether it's a German Shepherd or a sausage dog, it's.
Cats integrated meat.
There you go. Yeah. You're going to get hurt, and it's not a good idea. And a passerby who meddles in a quarrel that is not his own. If you see two people in a punch-up, okay, as you probably do at school or wherever, you don't go and stand right in the middle of it while someone is throwing a punch. It is just stupid. Or someone is having a verbal fight and they're arguing or something like that. It's not really a wise idea to jump in and start like a three-way argument when it was just two people arguing with each other. It's just not a wise thing to do, because people's rage turn on you, people's fists get turned your way, and it's not a good idea. The fact is though, I took that a little bit further, and I went, what is a more practical example of the whole, not getting into fights and all that sort of thing. I was also thinking, what about practical jokes? I love practical jokes. They're funny. They're hilarious. They're funny. Ewan knows about them. Trust me. It's awful sometimes to be on the receiving end of them. Okay, because A, you get hurt physically. Okay, sometimes, and B, you probably do get hurt emotionally. Because you stand there going, man, what did I do to deserve that? There you go. And now the guilt comes through. There we go. Guys, this is a more sort of modern example of the whole, is it really wise if you know that a practical joke is going to hurt someone, do you do it anyway? It's... There you go, Dave, I'm really yeah, but I guess from all of this, and from what all of this is saying, I could go through each verse and name and go, this is the foolish thing, this is the wise thing, but you sort of get the picture after 2 or 3. It doesn't really take a whole lot to understand what it's Solomon writing this, isn't it? Yeah, what Solomon's talking about.
These ones are his client.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Right. Okay. Cool.